Hi everyone, I'm Ashleigh, and today I'm going to guide you through a 1-hour vinyasa. And our focus for today is matching breath to movement. And if you've ever taken a yoga class, you've probably heard that before, but it can sometimes take years to really understand what that means. And when I was first practicing, I just knew that I was doing the class, and I don't think it ever resonated until I got deeper into my practice. So today I want to offer that guidance and focus on that for the session, because we match breath to movement to be able to align our bodies. So there are 5 different bodies, if you will, in yogic principle, and the Annamaya kosha, they're called the koshas, and the Annamaya kosha is our physical body, this sort of outer layer. But the Pranamaya kosha is the life force, the breath, the energy that's running through our body. So today, through our practice, we're gonna work on aligning these 2 koshas. So keep that in your mind. I will cue it at certain times. I will bring the reminders forward. As always, if something is difficult, you can push back into a child's pose and work on your breathing, push back into a down dog, take any modifications you need. I will give a few, but I'll just say to do what feels good for your body, take what you can, leave what doesn't work. If you're at home, grab a pillow, grab a blanket so that you can use them sort of in lieu of blocks, but if you have blocks, that would also be great. I'm going to do my practice completely block and modification free and just do it as is to let you know how that would look if you're doing it like this at home. So to get started in our principles of aligning the Annamaya and Pranamaya kosha bodies, we're gonna do some simple breath work. So you can come into hero's pose, you can have a block, or you can sit cross-legged. You can even sit in butterfly or Baddha Konasana. I'm simply gonna sit in easy posture like this. We're gonna do a few breaths here together, either closing your eyes or gently finding your gaze at a focal point, a drishti. When you find a drishti and or you close your eyes, you start to work towards minimizing the fluctuations and the chatter in our mind, what we call the chitta vritti. So inhale and exhale. You may want to employ the ujjayi breathing, where you constrict your throat a bit so you hear the sound as you exhale. I find that really helpful as a reminder to bring me back to my breath. So now continue breathing on your own, at your own pace, fully inhaling, finding your edge. Maybe you hold it there for a second and then releasing, either audibly or through the ujjayi breath in the exhale. And what I want you to do is just think about what it means to align the breath with the movement. How you feel as you inhale. What does that feel like with your energy? And as you exhale, where do you feel the energy go? Maybe as you inhale, you think about the cool air entering your nose or parts of your mouth. And as you exhale, you feel the warmth take over sort of the belly region. So just feel into that a little bit. And if you wanted to find a little bit of organic movement here, you can. I'm definitely a fan of moving the back, especially when in easy posture. And if you have tight hips, easy posture is not always so easy. So go ahead and loosen out that back, but continue breathing through it. So you're going to inhale. Maybe you want to pause and go the other direction, starting with an inhale. Now I want to take this time to come into Dandasana, so legs out in front of you. So just extend them out. And I find in a lot of classes we typically do this at the end, but I like to see how tight I am at the beginning and feel myself progressing throughout the class. So Legs out in front of you comfortably. Make sure you're on your sits bones. You may need to peel away your flesh here. Good posture, pulling in those abdominals. Hands by your side. Take a nice deep breath. And on that exhale, please creep your hands forward to wherever feels good for you. Another inhale, we're gonna lengthen, straightening out that spine, and exhale, pouring over. Maybe your hands can touch your toes, maybe they stay on your knees, maybe they bend a little to find more length, whatever feels good, but just really waking up the hamstrings and the entire backs of the legs. 2 more breaths here. Walking the hands up the legs. We're gonna move into Baddha Konasana, AKA bound ankle, I think, or butterfly, or mariposa, if you know Spanish. So you're just gonna flutter your wings a bit, remaining on those sits bones, remaining with the good posture, core pulled in tight, shoulders knit back if possible, and just flutter a bit. Now on an inhale, lengthen even more, bringing the crown up towards the ceiling, and on an exhale, fold over. Just as far as you can go. Again, finding your edge. It shouldn't be painful. It doesn't need to be far. You don't need to be touching anything, just finding your own edge. Perfect. Now, we're gonna go back into easy posture, and building off of that length that we've already begun in the spine, go ahead and inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right, bringing your left hand onto your right knee and the right hand behind you. Continuing with the theme of lengthening the spine. Inhaling intentionally and exhaling into your stretch a bit more. Inhaling, bring the arms up. Exhaling, other side. Inhaling the arms up. We're gonna do the same thing but quicker. So inhale up, exhale to the side, inhale up, exhale left side. One more on each side, inhale up, inhale up, perfect. Now we're ready to roll onto our backs gently. And we're gonna start bringing the feet out to the wide edge of the mat and bringing the knees into touch and windshield wipering the knees really gently. Hands can be in a T, they can be out, they can be by your side, they can even be on your body, which is a really great way to sync breath with movement and to align the Annamaya and Pranamaya kosha bodies, koshas. If you have your hand on your body and your heart and you feel yourself breathe, it's a really, really quick and easy way to get those koshas aligned, or at least start working towards it. All right, let's hug the knees into the chest. Great big hug, maybe even bringing the forehead to the knees, saying hello, giving yourself a big hug. On the exhale, dropping the head and dropping that left leg. We're gonna pull the right leg into the chest, but slightly to the right, making space for the ribs. Go ahead and roll that ankle a few times. Take an inhale, and then on your next exhale, bring the knee out as wide as you can to the right. Inhaling to center and exhaling, supine twist, bringing the leg over to the left side of the body like this, okay? Right hand is long and gaze is towards that right hand. 3 breaths here, softening in the hip flexor with every exhale. All right, let's bring the legs back into center. One more big hug, inhaling up. Exhaling, right leg goes long. Left leg is into the chest, again, slightly out to the left so as to create space for the ribs. And the deep breathing here. Go ahead and circle that ankle. And then bring the left knee out as far as comfortable for you to the left armpit. A lot of times people will use a band here or a towel to be able to grab around the bottom of the foot, and sometimes they'll straighten utilizing that band. So if you have one, please feel free to do that. But for today, I'm just keeping the knee in so that I'm ready to bring it over easily for the supine twist. So go ahead and exhale to the right. Bringing the left hand out and the eyes gaze towards that hand. 3 breaths here, softening into that hip flexor. You may feel this in the hip flexor. You may feel it in the low back. Hopefully some of those back straightening and strengthening movements that we did prior to this help. But now you're really waking up the entire body. All right, both knees in. Go ahead and take a few circles if you need. Maybe you bring the knees out wide, just finding some organic movement that your hips might need. Let's lay the legs out flat, stretch the arms out flat above you, and do a full body stretch. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it all out. In doing so, bring the knees in. We're gonna do something that's a little interesting here. I only recently came across this in another class, and I thought it was a great exercise. So I'm gonna call it a reclined cat-cow. So what you wanna do is take your hips and you wanna point them down as if in the same movement that when you're doing a cow. So point them down as if they're pointing down towards the tops of your thighs. You feel that movement. You create some space under the back. And this actually helps take a lot of pressure off the lower spine. So when you're getting into the L4, L5, S1, 1 and 2 area, you're taking the pressure off here. Now you're gonna bring the spine back through neutral and take the tops of the hips and bring them up towards your ribs. This is our cat movement. And you can feel this too, takes a lot of pressure off different parts of your back. I happen to have a low back injury, and both of these feel really nice, just in different ways. So one more time, through the reclined cow. And into the cat. All right, hands down, spine is neutral. Walk your heels in a little bit closer to the glutes, and we're gonna go into a few bridge poses to fire up the back body. Inhale, nice big inhale. Exhale as you come up. We're gonna hold here. Breathing through any tension in the glutes, the hamstrings, or the low back. And lower slowly one vertebra at a time. Another big inhale. Exhale up. At the top here, try and have your body as flat as you can. Picture yourself almost like an angle, a slope, a ski slope from the knees all the way down to the shoulders. Engage the core. Face is relaxed. And down. Last one, and if you'd like to do a bind underneath the bridge, you can, and I will demonstrate. So inhale. You can knit the arms in close together, creating even more space and pushing up through those hip flexors with the aid of the glutes and the quads. All right, one more big breath, and then we will come down. Feet out to the wide edge of the mat, and let's do one more set of windshield wipers. It feels so nice to loosen up those hips. Some of the sticky spots, maybe you've worked through them and started to open them. Wherever you feel them, just honor them. Work through and around. Do what works for you. We're gonna hug the legs in. We're gonna begin rocking until we're able to meet in a tabletop. If you're able to roll up and over your legs, that's wonderful. All right, now that we're in tabletop, let's pat out the tops of the feet. Get a little bit of blood flowing through them. And we're gonna go with our traditional cat-cow. So inhale, dropping the belly, opening the chest, looking up. Exhale, rounding the spine, pushing the heart up towards the ceiling. Really sinking breath to movement here. I find cat-cow is one of the easiest ways to sink breath to movement. It can serve as a great foundation for keeping that going throughout the practice. If you're able to close the eyes, it feels wonderful because you are grounded here with your palms underneath your shoulders. You are grounded with your knees underneath your hips, so you feel that protection of the earth. You can go ahead and close your eyes and go through 2 more rounds of cat-cow. Okay, meeting in a neutral spine. We are going to peel up the right arm, waking up those shoulder blades. You might have a little bit of shakiness in the left arm, that's okay. And we are going to thread the needle. Thread it through, bring face to the mat. Your left hand arm can go up to the top, but I find it more comfortable to bring it behind me. Some people can go into a full bind where they find that hip crease. I like to just open the space and put my hand gently on my back. 2 breaths here. Inhale, plant the left arm, swing the right arm back up to the ceiling, counteracting that pose, and down. Go ahead and wiggle it out. Tap the tops of the feet again. 1 more round of cat-cow at your own pace, and then we'll do the other side. Inhaling, sweeping the left arm up. It's okay if it feels tense and if the right arm shakes. Exhaling all the way through, threading that needle. As you breathe, consider softening the hips to whatever extent possible for you. Consider pulling them back so that they're even. And then planting that right hand, Swinging the left arm back up and placing it back down. Again, finding some organic movement. Cycling through one more cat-cow and we'll meet in a tabletop. So we're gonna move into bird dog. I want you to take your right foot and extend it. Your toes will catch you. Say hello to your toes. Say hello to your calf. Rock back and forth. Feel that calf muscle, that Achilles tendon waking up. And then lift. Gently lift that right leg. This might be enough for you. You might feel this in your leg. You'll feel it in your outer left glute as well as it tries to balance holding your whole body up. But if you're able, what you want to do is extend your left arm. The arm is close to the head, reaching towards the front of the room while the right foot reaches towards the back. Inhale, and if you're ready for a balanced challenge, take each out wide. Beautiful. Inhale, bring it in, and exhale, release. All right, we're ready to do the other side. Extend the left leg long. Say hello to that heel, that calf, that Achilles tendon. And when you're ready, lift. Big inhale, big exhale. Keep that core tight. Keep the shoulders from knitting in. You don't want anything to be falling in like this. You want the shoulders strong. The shoulder blades are apart. Wrists are grounding down. And when you're ready, lifting the right arm. And then out for our balance challenge. Yes. All right, back in. Beautiful. One more round of cat-cow, because again, we're focusing on syncing breath to movement. And I find this to be foundational. From here, you're gonna kickstand out that right leg, so you're staying in your tabletop. Right leg kickstand it out. Right arm stays down. I have a wrist injury, and at times I have to ball up my fist to keep my fist straight because the constant bending hurts. So just an FYI, if you have those injuries, balled wrists is a great modification. Right arm down, you're going to peel up the left and at the same time, open the hips. Gate pose. This is just an overall great pose for just opening up energy, saying hello to the day, feeling great. It can also be a bit of a challenge if you make a modification. So if you're ready, if you're feeling it, go ahead and lift that top leg for 2 breaths. You can often feel a bit of a pulling in this area, which tells you it's an area that you may need to strengthen. So doing this is a great way to strengthen it. And on your next exhale, come back down and around. And we're gonna hit the other side. Left leg kickstands out. Left arm plants down. Right arm peels up. Right hips open. Beautiful. If you'd like to stay like this, if you'd like more of a challenge, go ahead and lift that leg for 2 breaths. All right, and then we're coming back down and taking the knees wide, we'll meet in a child's pose. And while you're in child's pose, think about how you have or have not been syncing the breath to your movement. Have you been doing it and it's been feeling wonderful? Is there room for improvement? Have you felt a difference? Maybe it's always come naturally to you, which is wonderful. So hopefully this is feeling nice. You're starting to feel energized. When you're ready, we'll push up into our first down dog of the day and get ready for some sun salutations. So from your child's pose, come up onto the hands and push up into down dog. remember to ground into your hands and push back. Your head and your eyes should be looking between your legs. Your heart should be reaching for your thighs. Legs are strong. You may want to pedal out the legs. Move from side to side. Maybe you come up on tippy toes and then reach down. Nice and strong here. So we're gonna walk or jump to the top of the mat for a ragdoll. Legs are about shoulder distance apart. Knees are slightly bent so that our belly can rest on our thighs and take all of the pressure out of the low back. Arms can hang, and you can rock side to side. Okay. Bringing the hands down, we're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, which means you root down. From your root, you rise all the way up, one vertebra at a time, with your head coming up last, hands to heart center. Let's go ahead and fire up the whole body with our sun salutations. So, I'm gonna go through the first one very slowly, cueing each breath, but after that, you can sync the breath to movement yourself. So inhaling, arms up. Exhale on your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straightening your back. Exhale, fold and plant the hands. Inhale, step back and flow. Inhale on your up dog. Exhale to down dog. On this next one, I'm going to show you the other modification if you're not already aware of it. Bend the knees, look forward, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Eyes up, arms up, hands to heart. In this version, I'm going to do the modification where instead of doing a full chaturanga to up dog, we do knees, chest, chin to cobra through to down dog. And on the last sun A, you can go ahead and choose whichever modification works for you. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, knees, chest, chin, cobra. And it can be a baby cobra or it can be a big cobra. Then you're going to use your arm strength and your knees to push yourself through tabletop up to down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale as you jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands come home to heart center. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Plant and go. Your vinyasa. This is your practice. So you're going to do whatever works for you. Taking a few deep breaths here in this down dog. Let's all collectively inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Shake your head no. Shake your head yes. Bend the knees, look forward, step, walk, or hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling all the way up, arms up, eyes up, hands come home. Now we're quickly going to do a sun C, sort of a variation, but we're going to do it quickly. It's going to involve what we just did, but adding in Anjaneyasana low lunge. So here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel that beautiful straightening out. Exhale, fold. Feel that decompression. Step the right foot back. Knee is down. Arms come up. Inhale. On the exhale, you're going to cactus the arms, opening up that chest, working on balance. Back up. Making sure that you are not dumping a load of pressure into your low back. Glutes are strong, thighs are strong, core is strong. You're stretching in where able, not dumping the pressure, okay? Hands down to frame that right foot. Back knee comes up, right arm peels up, beautiful stretch, wonderful. Hand comes down, right leg comes back. Find your flow, or simply meet in down dog. Slight bend, look forward, find the top of the mat. Halfway lift, fold, root to rise, arms up, eyes up, hands to heart center. Here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Right leg comes back. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, we cactus. Inhale, we're up. Exhale, arms frame the leg, the foot. The back leg comes up. The left arm peels up. Hand down, left foot meets the right, find your flow. Walk to the top of the mat. Let's find one more ragdoll. Remember, belly is on the hips and the thighs. Arms are long. Shake the head no. Shake the head yes. Completely releasing that neck. Softening the face muscles, the jaw. And then when you're ready, slight bend and then rolling all the way up. Okay, quick water break if needed. All right, now we're getting into our fun, spicy pose. So, finding mountain, let's take 3 breaths together here. Remembering to come back to our intention for today. With each exhale, maybe you feel more grounded. Maybe your arms feel stronger. Even just standing here, you feel like you can make miracles happen. You feel so full of energy and supercharged. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Now, we're going to go into a standing split. So if you have a prop, feel free to use it. Sometimes I use my own water bottle, which is kind of resourceful. So hands down or on your block or prop, and go ahead and lift. You know what? Let's start with the right leg. Go ahead and lift that right leg. Now the goal here is not for length. The goal is to have both hip sockets pointed down and to be stretching up. So you're stretching that left hamstring and back of the leg and working on the strength of the hip flexors. From here, you are going to come up and cartwheel into a warrior 2. Right leg, right foot is turned out, 45-degree angle. Left foot is forward. We're strong in our warrior. 5 breaths here at your own pace. Maybe you close the eyes if that feels comfortable. From here, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior or peaceful warrior. Keeping the legs as they were, the only thing different is the arm. On the exhale, coming all the way down, left arm to left leg with the right arm overhead. You have this really beautiful full line of energy from your right fingertips all the way down to your right toes. This long line of energy. Theoretically, your arm should not be straight up the way it is in triangle. It should be reaching towards the front, overhead. Once more. Reversing that warrior and back to extended side angle. If you'd like a challenge, please feel free to take the left arm and bring it out to meet the right for 2 breaths. You got this, you're strong. Cartwheeling back into warrior 2, straightening the front leg so the hips are the same. You don't move the hips. Keep them the way that they were when you were down, just straightening that front leg. Reaching as far forward as you can until you need to hinge at the hip. Now we're in triangle pose. Now the goal here is to be pulling that right arm and that right shoulder back to keep the body in one line. Okay. Cartwheeling up, taking these left toes to meet the right. We're along the long edge of the mat. And I do apologize for the butt shot. From here, we're gonna go into 5 pointed star and then into goddess. We're gonna do another breath sinking exercise. So we're gonna do 5 rounds. So inhale, 5 pointed star, exhale, goddess. Inhale up, exhale, goddess. On this last one, maybe you find a micro bend and you really open that chest. Arms come down behind the back. They can clasp. If reverse prayer is in your practice, please find it. If not, just simply grab. We're opening up those chest plates, those pecs. We're gonna inhale, rise, grow a little. Exhale, fold by hinging at the hips. Hands can be wherever you'd like them. They can come to the ground, they can remain overhead. You can bend into one leg. Just find some organic movement here. Find what feels good. And when you're ready, inhale, plant the fingers, half lift. Exhale, fold. Now we're gonna Skandasana, over to the right. Skandasana, nice stretch. If you haven't done one in a while, it always feels great. Use your hands to guide you to the left side or use your core strength. Inhale, exhale in. Okay, from here, we're gonna just bring this left foot, this right foot, up to the left and meet in ragdoll. So you're kind of swiveling a bit. You wanna make sure your hips are realigned. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, arms up, eyes up. Hands to heart center. Other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Standing splits. This time your left leg will go up. Again, using blocks, using a water bottle, using fingertips on the mat. The goal is not height. The goal is strength and stretch. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale as you cartwheel into warrior 2. Move up so you can see me. Again, 5 breaths here. Closing your eyes if that feels okay for you. And when you're ready, flipping that right palm, peaceful warrior. Big inhale, exhale to extended side angle. My entire back just cracked. Again, focusing on that line of energy from the fingertips down to the outer edge of the left foot. A very strong, energetic pose. Keeping the legs as they are. Inhaling to reverse or peaceful warrior. Exhaling to extended side angle. One big breath. And then if you want to challenge yourself on the last two, extend the arms. Inhaling up into your warrior two. One breath. Inhale, straighten that leg. Hips are the way that they were. The only thing different is the straightened leg. We're gonna lean forward, and when we're as far as we can go, we hinge at the hip. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Of course, with the goal of bringing our left arm and shoulder a little bit further back, if possible, picturing ourselves between two planes of glass. Now we rise up, heel toeing that right foot to meet the edge of the mat. And now we're this way. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. On this side, I want to add one other movement. I want to take the right arm and on an inhale, peel it up. Yes. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, peel up the left arm. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, going a little deeper. Maybe arms come to the ankles this time. Maybe they reach toward the back of the mat. Maybe you just stay, mirroring what you did on the previous side, or finding something new if that feels a little bit better for you. We're gonna roll up, and this is where we're gonna do our 5-pointed star to goddess before we get into the Skandasanas. So, inhaling, arms up, saying hello to the world. Exhale, squat into goddess. Inhale up, exhale, squat down. 5-pointed star and down. Last one. Maybe you find a micro bend and you exhale into goddess. From here, Skandasana to the left. Again, use arms if you need. Only go as far as you can. But if you're able, let's switch sides. And we're going to frame this right foot, step the left leg up into a bit of a ragdoll. Once again, inhale, straighten, half lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up, eyes up, nice big juicy stretch. And exhale, hands come home to heart center. Now we're gonna move back down to the ground. So we're gonna go back down, just find a seat, whatever works for you. We're gonna go over a few of the stretches we did in the beginning to see how they feel, see if they feel differently in your body now. So we'll start with staff pose, Dandasana, legs out in front of you. Again, making sure you're on your sits bones, peeling that flesh back, straightening up through the crown, opening the crown, inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, fold. Let the hands land where they land. It's not a competition. Everyone is built differently. I notice at times people get a little self-conscious about this pose. There's no need. Yoga is for you. You're doing what works for your body. You're taking what works and leaving what doesn't. Inhale, straighten the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, walk the hands up. Now we're going to move into butterfly. Bringing the heels in to wherever feels comfortable and fluttering your wings a bit. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, fold. Closing the eyes if that feels good. Remembering that chitta vritti is the mental chatter in our mind, the anxiety, the worry, the voice in our head. Using this practice and using the syncing of breath to movement to quiet the chitta vritti. So from here, I want to do this, but down on the ground. So we're going to do Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. So keep your legs in butterfly and just gently bring yourself down. I want to make sure I'm still on the camera. Okay, right hand on the belly, left hand on the heart. Big breath in. Exhale loud. Few more breaths here, just like that. Feeling your chest as it rises, as your belly fills. Feeling it all escape out. Letting the poses sink in. And letting our intentions sink in. Maybe your hips feel a lot looser now than they did in the beginning. Maybe your core feels stronger. And then when you're ready, bringing the feet up, but still on the wide edges of the mat, knees to touch. Let's get another windshield wiper in. And we're gonna do one quick inversion. If headstand or wheel is in your practice, please feel free to do that. Take whatever modification you need. If you'd rather do a bridge, you can. But what I suggest is some version of legs up the wall, so I'll show you how I do it. We're gonna get into that position for about 5 breaths. So I support my low back like this. You can use a block, you can use pillows. It can be very simple, or it can be more intense. Some people then take this into plow pose. But I prefer to just invert my body a bit to make sure all my blood is flowing, to let the energy just really run freely. When we're inverted, we force our blood to pump upwards. We force our heart and our muscles and everything that keeps us together to pump the blood upwards, even though gravity is pulling it down. It's a great way to test your body, to just keep your heart and everything healthy, working healthily. And when you're ready, gently lowering, hugging the knees in, giving yourself a big hug, thanking yourself for showing up before we move into our final pose of the day. If you'd like to take a happy baby or anything else that feels good for you, please do. When you're in happy baby, focusing on pushing your low back down. You do not want your butt and your low back to be up. You want your low back pushed down. And you may not be able to see it either in person or through the camera, but you can certainly feel it on yourself when you push through and push down. So even when you have your knees hugged in, working on pushing that low back down, it's a great tip for low back safety and mobility. And then as you're ready, lengthening out the legs, bringing the arms to the side. Alternatively, if Shavasana hurts your low back, you can come back into Supta Baddha Konasana. You can sit in the windshield wiper knees, on your back, knees in the windshield wiper, so that the back is more flush with the ground. You have many options. You do not have to just be in Savasana. So as we're there, we're gonna close our eyes and take in today's practice. Deep inhales. Exhale with the Ujjayi breath if you can. Inhale, bringing yourself to the edge, filling up as much as you can, and then holding. When you're ready, exhaling it out. Thanking yourself for showing up today. Thanking your body for what it does for you. Thanking your Annamaya Kosha for being what it is. Thanking your Pranamaya Kosha, the energy, the life force energy that runs through us all. Maybe you feel a bit more aligned after this class. Maybe you realized an area where you weren't syncing breath to movement previously. Maybe you just had a good practice and you weren't even too worried about it. There is no right and there is no wrong in yoga. Whatever works for your body, as long as your intention is there and you're showing up for yourself on your mat, and you are practicing in your way, then we honor that. Maybe you take this time to set an intention for the rest of your day. Maybe an intention for the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year. Your intention can simply be intention. For instance, intend to do everything that you do with intention. You come to yoga with the intention of moving your body and feeling better. You cook dinner with the intention of feeding yourself and nourishing yourself, perhaps your family. You're reading with the intention of learning something new. Maybe your goal is to just be more intentional. So your intention is intentionality. I think we could all use a little bit more of that. Being intentional about where we spend our time and our energy. Being intentional about aligning our life with our goals, with our morals, with our energy and who we want to be. Using yoga to get there as a vehicle of alignment. And when you're ready, slowly start to wiggle your toes and your fingers, rolling the wrists and the ankles, inhaling into a full body, yummy stretch. Your muscles will thank you. Exhaling, hugging the legs back in, giving yourself one last tight hug. And when you're ready, at your pace, rolling up, pushing up, or getting up into a seated, easy posture. We're gonna do just a few breaths together here. So once we're all here, inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms melt to the right. We've come full circle with the movements that we started with. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms to the left. Maybe you take 2 quick body circles before we take 2 final deep breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much for joining me today on your mat. Thank you for all of your hard and beautiful work today. The light and love in me sees and honors the light and love in you. Take that intentionality with you throughout the course of your day. Namaste.